Welcome to Unveiled, the Hampton Police Division podcast where we dive into the world of Hampton policing. I'm your host, Chief Jimmie Wideman, and today we're joined with McKenzie Dunford, the Special Olympics Manager for Special Olympics Virginia. McKenzie, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm McKenzie Dunford. I'm the Special Events Manager with Special Olympics Virginia. I actually grew up in Hampton and then went to college at George Mason University, graduated with a bachelor's in sports management, and then kind of found my way back to the 757 and found my way to Special Olympics Virginia. I got involved with Special Olympics Virginia. Obviously, as a sport management major, I knew about the organization when I was in college. And then, a job opportunity opened up and I jumped on it and I loved it ever since. I have a passion for sports, obviously, and I also have a passion for giving back to the community. So this was like a perfect opportunity for me.
It's wonderful. I know that the Hampton Police Division is a great supporter. It's one of my personal and professional passions to be a supporter of the Special Olympics. Can you talk about how that relationship exists between law enforcement and Special Olympics and what makes it unique for us to have it?
Yeah, so law enforcement started being involved in Special Olympics in 1981 in Kansas. The idea for Torch Run was to provide law enforcement like the opportunity to volunteer with Special Olympics and the community as a whole. LETR supports SOVA all over the state and local events and statewide. So we have tons and tons of agencies around the state of Virginia that support Special Olympics Virginia just within the state. And then you have to think all law enforcement around the country also support Special Olympics in the United States. And then you also have to think we also have Special Olympics International. Yeah. So in every country, if there is a program, then their law enforcement supported as well.
Man, that's the other side of the coin. So beautiful about being attached to law enforcement and being attached to the community because it affords us this opportunity, which is absolutely priceless. Anyone that's ever attended a game or a ceremony, you're instantly hooked. You may not go into the arena thinking that you're going to be necessarily a sponsor, supporter, or somehow attached, but it will change you that you'll feel obligated to be a part of it. It's the best experience ever. And that's why, and I speak for myself as well as our agency, we support it full-heartedly. And we appreciate the value it brings to the organization, that being the Special Olympics, but as well as to the athletes. For those that don't know, can you talk about some of the summer games and what events we're going to be hosting or holding locally? I know the grand ceremonies or opening ceremonies just recently passed, but if you could speak to some of that just for the public's awareness, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Special Olympics Virginia is a nonprofit. We give those with special needs an opportunity to be included in sports of all kind. But along with that, we also provide the opportunity for healthy athletes. And a lot of people just think that we, give these athletes an opportunity to play sports, but we also provide health opportunities. And a lot of our athletes are prone to, diabetes more than us and things like that. So our Healthy Athlete program provides eye testing. They get glasses right on site, hearing aids, they get those right on site, skin checks for cancer, all of those things. So we provide that as well. We have tons of things going on just in the state of Virginia. We have two big competitions that happen. One is Fall Champs, and that happens here in Virginia Beach in the fall. And so that's all of our fall sports. That would be basketball, soccer, bocce, and skating. And then our largest in-state competition is Summer Games, and Summer Games just happened at the University of Richmond. So Summer Games happens in Richmond. It gets everybody together. It's this huge thing. Everybody loves it. And so those are all your summer sports. And so that's your softball, your swimming, your bowling, and track and field. So that just happened. And then locally, you obviously have all your local competitions that our athletes support and participate in as well. So all of these local competitions, then they go to Fall Champs, and then they go to Summer Games. Our program is free for our athletes. They do not pay a dime. So that's a great thing for us. Any money that we raise goes to paying for these athletes to go to these state competitions, to participate in local events, and then to also get the opportunity to go to national and international games. International games is coming up in Italy, so we may have a couple that go. You just never know. And then local events from softball tournaments to track and field competitions and things like that. And then obviously you also have events outside of competitions, which include our polar plunge. Polar plunge, we have various polar plunges that happen throughout the state.
I did that this year.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Our Virginia Beach Polar Plunge is our largest in-state fundraiser. It will be happening this year, February 7th and 8th, so mark your calendars. Please come out. We raised $1.6 million, which is the most we've ever raised. So it's growing. It's fun. There's a lot more that goes on. And so that's just something that happens as well. And then something else we also do locally is feet meets and United programs. And so our feet meets are United programs where we have athletes, our special athletes come out and participate in a field day with athletes that don't have special abilities. So they come together, they participate in a field day together. It's super fun. If you've never seen one, it really just opens your eyes to just bringing everybody together. The whole part is to be included, to feel special. So our feet meets happen. Our big feet meets are middle school, high school, and then our little feet meets are elementary school. So that's just a little bit that goes on in the state, and tons more things happen outside the state. But, statewide, we have over 21,000 athletes. Locally, it's really hard to tell, because they're always coming in and out and they participate in so many programs. Right. Local programs, ages 8 to 100, if you can play, if you still got it, come on out. So yeah, 8 to 100 is our local programs. So yeah.
How do we connect the public? So if you have a loved one or someone that you know or friend that wants to get involved in Special Olympics, either as an athlete or a supporter, is there a special location, number, website that you all want to plug just so we can put that out there for public awareness?
No, yeah. If you are just interested in being a part of our organization, if you have, a sibling or a child that does have special needs, please get them involved. This is a great opportunity. Our athletes love it. If you go to specialolympicsva.org, you'll find everything you need on there. If you're also just interested in getting involved volunteering, we also have tons and tons of volunteer roles, from state games to plunges to things that we need you guys for. And law enforcement is one of our biggest volunteers. They come out to all of our events, all of our fundraisers, and they do a lot for us. So even if you're not law enforcement, please feel free, to come out to volunteer. Visit our website. You do also, have to go through a background check. You got to, do volunteer trainings and things like that. But that stuff's super easy. Once you get through all of that, then, you're good to go. And once you get out, like he said, you're kind of stuck for life. You know what I mean? Once you see what goes on, yeah, you're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, and you mentioned it just briefly how we just had a torch run. Hampton Police Division and Newport News Police Division just recently did the law enforcement torch run, and we genuinely enjoyed it. Both cities, the support that came out was phenomenal. And at the time, if I'm not mistaken, HPD was second in Virginia for the amount of money raised. And so the question is, are we still number 2, or is there still time to get the number 1 slot?
So LETR, Law Enforcement Torch Run, like I mentioned, was created in 1981. Originally, the whole concept was we're going to run the Flame of Hope throughout the state of Virginia, and we're going to connect one agency from one side of the state to the other agency all the way at the end of the state. And so it was kind of like a physical run that happened, and it kind of moved away to that, and now we allow you all to do what you want. And so the beauty of that is not everybody's running, in front of cows, or we're not, where you can't see people. So we allow you all to do what you want. The physical runs is up to the jurisdiction, what they want. It could be a 2-mile run. It could be a 5-mile run. Whatever you guys want to do. It's all just about getting involved and just showing the community what we are all about. And so, yeah, Hampton Police Department came out. They ran from Peninsula Town Center to the Wawa down Mercury Boulevard. It was great.
Don't forget the part where we ran from the Wawa to Newport News Police Station.
Yeah, you did. And then from the
Give us all our
Wawa
miles.
to Newport News. Yeah, you did. And so, yeah, right now Hampton PD is 5th. And they have raised $3,653. There's just a natural competition that happens with this. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. So this is like the time where a lot of agencies will get together and be like, okay, we got to raise this money. We got to come out on top. So you'll see a lot of departments really, really come out and raise a lot of money for this. But this is great. Hampton PD, is starting to get more involved than they have been, and we're looking forward to what the future holds. So.
Oh, yeah. I came back, had to re-energize us because, again, it's been one of my passions. I see so much value in it. And the participation was unbelievable by various members. I'm hoping we will plateau past, or not, but go past, not plateau, our efforts this year because, again, I'm already looking forward to the polar plunge. Well, hopefully we'll have more people participate. I think Corporal Starnicker is one of the interested parties. I'm going to get in better shape for next year's torch run and invite everyone else to come out. And then I throw the challenge out to any other department that would come up with another way to which they can challenge us. We can compete. But most importantly, we can support our athletes and raise money for their events. Anything that I'm missing about that?
No, and like I said, you really don't have to be a part of law enforcement to come out and participate in these runs. Once the LETR creates their team, we do provide shirts every year, and the shirt is designed for the year, so every year is different. You can just join the team and come out and run. If you see somebody, law enforcement running down the street and you're like, oh, wow, they're running. I wonder what they're running for. Stop, honk your horn, ask questions. A lot of people are impatient and are like, oh my gosh, I need to go to work. Why are you blocking traffic?
Right.
But we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this because our athletes enjoy it. Our athletes love to see law enforcement out and be a part of a lot of things that we do for them. And law enforcement is our biggest grassroots fundraiser. You know what I mean? Law enforcement just this year alone, agencies throughout Virginia have raised a total of $1.79 million.
Excellent.
That's just this year, and that's the most we've ever raised with law enforcement. And you can only go up from there. You know what I mean? Each agency does their own thing in terms of fundraisers. Hampton PD is part of Region 18, and so everybody on this side of the water, Newport News, Hampton, Yorktown, is a part of Region 18. And then Region 3 is everybody on the other side. So even though we're all 757, we divide these agencies in regions, and that's how we keep track. And, a lot of our agencies will do things in fundraisers. And so an example is Chesapeake Sheriff's Office does Dancing with the Athletes. And if you've never seen that, that is a great event. Law enforcement will get up on stage and show their moves with our athletes, and it's a healthy competition, and there's a winner at the end, and we give out awards and we raise money, and it's a great time. Along with that, we do annual Tip-A-Cops, and so if you've ever seen Hampton PD at a Longhorn or at a Wawa or things like that, that's the reason they're out there. They're raising money for our athletes. They're getting the word out and including everybody. So Tip-A-Cops will serve as your law enforcement will serve as waitresses or hosts to collect money for Special Olympics Virginia. And then along with that, we also have Cover the Cruisers. And so Cover the Cruisers happen at a local gas station, things like that, and we will sell icons, and those icons will hopefully cover your cruiser. Okay. And so our one that's coming up, keep an eye out for, is Wawa with the Law. That happens August 26th through the 30th. And so any participating Wawas, hopefully you'll see some of your law enforcement out there. You'll have Cover the Cruiser, and they'll just be out there trying to raise money for us. So if you see them out there, please stop by, say hi, ask questions. You never know what's going on, but that's the whole point. So
all the good time.
Yeah.
So Worthy, you've covered a lot. Covered a lot.
I've done this before.
Yeah, one or two times.
One or two.
And again, I don't know what more to say because it's so much that you get out of the experience. It will fuel your desire to be a supporter. I do recall, and it's been so many years ago, do they do this the last mile still from the fire station to the stadium?
So what happens, University of Richmond, we do a final mile, and our final mile kind of starts opening games. Our law enforcement will start in a parking lot, honestly, and they will run a final mile around University of Virginia, or University of Richmond, and then they will come into the stadium, the football stadium, and then that kind of just is the start of opening ceremony, so that's how we do it now. And then they will kind of come into the football stadium. It's this, everybody says a few words, and then all the lights go out, and they'll carry the flame around the track. They will come in, and then the chief of Prince William actually lit our cauldron this year. Okay. And so he lit the cauldron, and then it's this huge thing, and then it's the start of the games for the weekend. Awesome. So it's really exciting.
I've had the chance to go, and and I keep speaking to it because it'll move you. It will change your life.
Oh, yeah.
So, but hopefully the opportunity will come about this coming season where we can find some people to come up and do the run and then participate. So invite anybody that would wish to come on board, whether it be our own agency or from outside, so we can come out and continue to support Special Olympics.
For sure.
What else should we add, McKenzie? What else do we need to do to get more people on board?
Nothing. I just challenge anybody on this side of the water that you're listening, and Hampton, Newport News, Region 18. Region 18 used to be super involved, and we're trying to get them more involved. Region 3 does a lot, and Region 18 is on the come up. So just get involved. Ask your local agencies what you can do. Like I said, if you see them out and about, or you see a Special Olympics Virginia logo, and you're like, oh, I heard this on the podcast, stop by, ask questions. You're more than welcome to join on board, become a volunteer, or come out and jump in the freezing cold water and support Special Olympics that way. It's we have so many opportunities, and we provide so many opportunities for these athletes, and that's really what makes us go, is just seeing the smiles on their faces and just knowing that they're feeling included, they're special, and we're doing all that we can, and law enforcement really shows up and shows out for that. And so even if you're not in the 757 and you're listening to this podcast and you live on the whole other part of the state, your agency is most likely supporting Special Olympics Virginia in some way or another. And so ask questions, get on board, raise some money. You'll always see different events going on. Things are popping up here and there, golf tournaments, plunges, fishing tournaments, plunges, anything and everything that you can think of. Really, you can create your own thing and start raising money. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Good. No, that's been great. I thank you for joining. I thank everyone for listening. Be sure to join us next time as we continue to shed light on the Hampton Police Division and the extraordinary individuals who serve and protect. Thank you, McKenzie.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Unveiled, a podcast that highlights the extraordinary men and women of the Hampton Police Division. To learn more about the Hampton Police Division, check us out on social media and on our website at www.hampton.gov/police.